Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs Podcast. This is season 6, episode number 41. This is a sports edition, Andy.
Yes.
Lots to talk about. Today's August 18th, 2025. It's been a big weekend of sports.
Yep.
That time of the year, baseball, soon
Busy.
It's going to be varsity football starting here soon. Kids are going off to college. High school football practices have begun. And so we'll touch base on all the sports, mainly baseball going on. Let's start off with a trivia question.
Trivia, hit it.
On this day in 2021, the LA Dodgers organization, a record was broke for the player that hit his 40th home run on this day in 2021, which was the fastest player in this Dodgers organization to reach 40 home runs ever.
40 as a Dodger or 40 for their career?
40 in the season, 40 for the season. So August 18th was the first time someone had reached the 40 home run plateau for the Dodgers organization. Who was that player? We'll get the answer at the end of the episode. You might be able to guess, but...
Well, it's down to 3 guys. I just got to figure out which one it is.
Yeah. 40 home runs.
All right.
And it wasn't Cal Raleigh. Has to be for the Dodgers.
The same 3 guys. So.
Yeah, just imagine. Well, let's talk some sports.
Here we go. First of all, yes, baseball. But you know what? If you cut me open, it's green and gold. The Bison play the Kickoff Classic 2027 in Vegas.
Okay.
Against Montana State. So start saving your money. Las Vegas 2027. Horns up against some kitty cats from Montana.
Love it.
So if you're thinking of sending your kid to North Dakota State, next year you'll be a freshman and they're going to Vegas. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, great. The Kickoff Classic.
The North Dakota and the Montana are going to invade Vegas. Holy Christ.
Imagine just the fans alone. This could get a little wild.
Culture shock it's going to be right there with all that. Holy crap. All right. Baseball tournaments were this weekend. You and I were in Brownton for most of the games. We did sneak off to see the Minnetonka-Waconia game. But I was impressed with all the games. I was impressed, and I'm not just saying this because they agreed to have us there, but I'm saying this because we were there. Broughton did a great job that first weekend. Everything was wonderful. All the sites, what I've heard, weather-wise, with the rains we had, great job. I think that Saturday Hutch started a half hour late, and that was it. Whoopity-doo. So congrats to the grounds crews there. Congrats to Grams and all the boys at Broughton. Made us feel very welcome there. Thank you.
Good job to the volunteers as well, doing whether it's working the food stand, the ticket gate, the press box, the concession stand, the apparel, the clothing. There are lots of volunteers it takes to make this happen. Brown, very good job over the weekend.
Yep. And and all the sites did great. All the games we saw were good. There was a couple that were the 13-1, 10, but even the games we did go, a lot of competitive games, close games.
Unreal. Yeah, it was fun atmosphere for weekend 1.
And that's what makes us great. We don't have the scores. I'm not going to go through all the scores of all the games with you. I'm not going to update the brackets here because it'd be like updating the NCAA brackets after one weekend. Woo. You can go to the NBA site. You can see the scores and standings there. A couple of surprises, but not really, I don't think. You'll see the surprises here this next weekend. I think anything's going to change or happen. There was one game Saturday. Air Freight had a medical emergency with one of the staff. That game was postponed until yesterday evening. They got through 3 innings, got rained out. So this game was suspended. It will be completed on Friday. I think in Gaylord. I haven't seen officially yet where they're doing that at.
I believe it's Gaylord. So all the games got in, whether it's Class A, B, or C at the 4 sites. Every game got in except this one because of the medical event. They tried to start it the day later, and rain came again. So now they're going to move it again. So keep in mind the opponent for those listening out there, Rochester Royals.
Yep.
So they had to drive quite a ways to get to the Brownton location for Friday, just to be told, no, we're not going to play. Psych, or Saturday, sorry. And then to say, let's do this tomorrow again at Brownton. They get there on a Sunday night, 7:00 game. Let's get there for that. And they get an inning in, and there's rain. So fans,
and just to show you that Brownton to Rochester is a 2-hour and 15-minute drive, 135 miles.
Yeah. So imagine the fans, now the wives, girlfriends, family, the players themselves. Like we said on the previous episode, these guys all work. They have to get up in the morning for Monday. They're not sitting around doing nothing. And so that's a lot of driving. And maybe that had something to do with, moving it to Gaylord, maybe a little closer. I don't know. But hats off to the Rochester Royals because of the circumstances.
And this is
no pick on, do the same thing.
This is no pick on Brownton or their towns, but that's the joys of town ball. It's small towns. It's not like there was a local hotel that could have put up the team in Rochester for the night.
Yeah, very unfortunate. But hats off to Rochester making all the various trips.
I don't know if they went to Waconia or Delano, where they went so far in Norwood and just stayed there instead of all the way home. Again, like I said, these guys have regular jobs. That's a hotel for one night at the spur of the moment. It's not cheap.
And so that's the one game that they have to catch up on now for weekend 2. And then that starts again on Friday. That game, along with the normal schedule games, a full slate on Saturday, full slate on Sunday for weekend 2. Keep in mind, this is a 3-weekend tournament. So all the sites, 3 sites, the 4th site is mainly on the first weekend. They can use that if they need to going forward, but mainly it's going to be the 3 sites. A lot of ball games to get in.
Now that game, the winner of that game, the Air Freight Rochester game, plays Saturday in Gaylord. So it's probably they're having the site at Gaylord, so they're at that one spot.
I see. That's probably why they did it.
PM game against Moorhead. So
yeah, and don't forget, Air Freight coming in from the Twin Cities. That's easily an hour drive for them as well. But Rochester, big, a lot of driving. But all the sites did very well. The games were very good as well.
Yes, great job, everybody. Here's some Major League Baseball stuff. Justin Verlander, congratulations. Now moving up on the list. 3,511 Ks. Should pass Gaylord Perry as bad as the season's going. He should get 23 more, I would think. I don't know if he'll pitch next year to continue or not. He had good numbers this year, just wasn't getting wins to start with. The man's still putting up innings and going.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he'll keep going. He needs 130 more to pass Tom Seaver. Almost 200 more to catch Blyleven. I don't know how much farther he'll go. I can maybe see one more year he might pass Sutton. We'll see. Saw this interesting stat as all the talk of realignment comes up and everything else. Brewers, who reside in the smallest market in Major League Baseball, have the 7th lowest payroll, and as of this weekend, had the best record in baseball.
Tough thing to do.
Stuck at New York and LA.
Yeah, you hear of the East and West Coast teams pouring money into their payroll and getting the best, biggest guys. Keep in mind, that doesn't do the trick. That helps having the best players, but you've got injuries, you've got team chemistry in the clubhouse. You just have things. The Brewers seem to be, whatever the trick is, doing it right. Now, is that sustainable? Can they keep winning at this rate? I don't know, but they're the team to watch right now.
Well, and also, they just switched managers because the other guy went to the Cubs. So he had good assistants there because they kept it within the family. But this is what I mean. And I don't know this for a fact because, again, not a big ESPN guy here. How many times have the Brewers been on the Game of the Week on ESPN or Fox?
Nope.
But it's one of the New York teams. It's LA. It's the Red Sox. It's
the Dodgers.
That other team besides the Pirates in Pennsylvania. So really,
and this could be, we've got the whole situation with Minnesota doing all the trade and the sell-off, the fire sale, and all this low payroll. Yep. For the Twins fans out there, keep in mind, you do not need the biggest market. You do not need the big payroll.
87.91, baby.
You can do it. You don't need to get the big flashy names, spend the biggest bucks, open up the checkbook. You can still win. There are ways to do it. And so hats off to the Brewers. Well done.
Here's the National League standings right now. There's your three division leaders, the Brewers, the Dodgers, the other team in Pennsylvania. Your three wild cards, Cubs, Padres, Mets, with a Mets a game and a half lead over Cincinnati. Cards 5.5, Giants 6, Diamondbacks 6.5. You can say, oh, those other teams are out of it. I don't know. I saw the Mets piss away a 5-game lead in the course of a week. So they went 3-7 as a team behind them, went like 8-2 or something like that. So it can happen.
Wow.
Am I saying Arizona or San Francisco are going to jump everybody? No. Would I be surprised if they did? No. The Reds, I mean, because after the Reds, those other teams are below 500. Barely. Never know. That's why we play the games.
Yes.
American League, Blue Jays, the Motor City Kitties, and the Astros are your top three. And you got Sox, the M's, and the Yanks. Yanks with a 3.5-game lead on Guardians. Now, before the weekend started, I was talking to the Preacher Man. I said, good luck this weekend because Cleveland was a half game behind the Yankees. Yankees have won 3 in a row. Cleveland's lost 3 in a row. That equals now 3.5 games out. So that's how close that is. A week can change it. Kansas City's 4. The Rangers 5.5. Tampa Bay Rays 6.5 out. They're 3 games below 500. They're playing at a minor league stadium. They have. I saw more people at the bar last night than go to their games. So
that's interesting. They were doing really well, and they already had that discussion to say, if we make the postseason, where are we playing their home games? And they said, we'll keep it there at Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. So I don't think they're going to make it. They're a ways out, but like I said, it's not much, but that's a crowded log jam there.
Football fact of the day. Larry Zonka is the only ball carrier in NFL history to receive an unnecessary roughness penalty while carrying the ball.
Now this I haven't seen. That sounds like an Earl Campbell stat.
That's this post is on our social media. You go back and find it. Just look it up. NFL fun facts on Instagram, YouTube, NFF. The play is Zonka's running down, and he just shoulders him and just drops him like third period French, and he just goes down.
Oh my God!
And it was just so smash mouth football back then. Larry Zonka, Earl Campbell, boom. You're gonna hit me? Go for it. Boom.
Love it.
Like we said, Minnesota high school sports seasons have started. Boys cross country, girls cross country, football, girls swimming and diving, boys soccer, girls tennis, girls volleyball. Notice these sports are still called girls and boys. I won't go farther down that. I'm just saying. Okay. Go ahead.
Andy, if you want to go back a sec, I did hear Minnesota State High School League is I don't think they're planning on it, but they're navigating to possibly increase the window for the baseball and softball season. Did you see that?
Yeah, I heard they're talking about it.
They haven't decided on that, and I don't know to move it up maybe for spring. They can't extend it out the other way, but it must be moving it up closer to spring because they fit so many games in a small window, and they're having a hard time getting those games in with rainouts and whatnot. So I'm guessing it's to alleviate the pressure on that tight window. Start a week earlier or something is all that they're proposing, I believe.
Okay, Jen Pawol, first female umpire, and here's her scorecard. These guys keep scorecards now. Her called ball accuracy was 95%, average is 97. Called strike accuracy, 87%, was 88's average. 93 overall. I think that's good. A little below average on their stuff. Okay. And anyone who complains about this, here's the link. You go be an umpire. Sign up. There's a camp there in Salt Lake coming up on the 23rd.
Yeah, I did see so many complaints on her very first
and you look at the scorecard, it wasn't that far off. Okay, average was 87. She called 95. That means sometimes there's 95, sometimes there's 99. That's why it's an average.
But you're
5 out of 104 balls were off. 6 out of 47 strike calls were off. Get over it.
Yeah, that's 250 pitches in a game really is what a home plate umpire is doing, right? Is it about 250?
This says 150 right here, called. So there's other hits and fouls in there that
Gotcha. Okay.
obviously
But
the fouls are
those are
obviously
the pitches
strike.
coming in. So yeah, a lot.
She
If
had to
you're
call
focusing on one call, something's wrong, but
151, and she was 11 off on 11
she
to
did
get over.
well. And she's, Andy, for the listeners out there, she's in the crew. She's in the crew,
Yep.
umpiring crew. So one of those days she's behind the plate and then she rotates around first, third base. That's a rotation. So you may get her behind the dish. You may not. From what her stats show, she's right in the mix. So I don't see that being a factor.
Okay, and those of you who watch on YouTube, you see her calls, the green ones there, the balls that she missed. On the court, there's one down here, barely touches the line, and they're calling that a missed call. Really? Okay, the strike she missed. A group of them are over here to the left side of the screen.
Yep.
Well, okay, after the first strike, you're a professional. If she's calling those strikes, then swing at them. Not all umpire. It used to be back in the days. Some guys had a high strike zone. Some went left. Some went right. Whatever. I'll see if she had a pattern. You see, those are strikes being called over there. If the ball's up in this corner, we're getting called all the time as a ball, not a strike. Her zone was a little over then. Adjust. You're professionals.
Yeah. The other thing I never heard about is what is the report card, for instance, as an example, for the first time you're coming up calling your inaugural home plate game. What is that stat? You got nerves, you got everything else going with you. Let's see how she did versus a common debut behind the dish. How did you do versus that? I think she just did fine. A lot of complainers on the internet, but look at it. Here's the facts. She did good.
Like I said, here's the information if you can do better. It's right there on the MLB site. Sign up, go do it yourself.
Like it.
Now, NFL referees, yeah, I'll rip on them. I'll rip on 75, 80-year-old men trying to keep up with pro athletes. Yeah, I'll make fun of that. Hockey referees, I won't make fun of. I'm afraid they might beat my ass. I don't know. And the NBA refs, okay, the last few times you've heard of referees getting caught for gambling, it's been the NBA. So I'm just going to drop that at that. And don't tell me pro wrestling officials are rigged. That's no. All right. What else I got here? See, I think that's all I got, man. I was pretty low packed today. I do want to say one other thing here. There is some talk going around again, like baseball realignment. Manfred brought it up last night on the Little League game with the Mets and the Mariners. Mets and Yankees would be in the same division. The two Los Angeles teams in the same division. The Chicago teams in the same division. I'm working on a bonus episode on that. I've seen everybody else and their brothers throwing out their different scenarios now, what they want. Of course, I have my scenarios of what I want. One thing is, one guy said, he goes, get rid of the American National League. Because, hockey and basketball have East and West. Eastern Conference, Western Conference. Well, hockey just started that a few years ago because they had the Campbells and the Whales and they had all these classic names. And they finally broke free and just went East
the
and
Norris,
West,
the Norris division.
Yeah, the North. Now, baseball, I'm a baseball truist, I'm a purist. Rhino might be in the same boat, I think. American League, National League. Got to have to call it East and West, life goes on. If you're going to do that, though, you got to get rid of this everybody playing everybody thing. If you want to go back to you want it to be regional, you can't have the East play the West equal amount of games. You got to you want the playoffs more exciting. Oh, it's Boston, LA again. We saw that game a few weeks ago. No, playoffs. You haven't seen these people. Because they say if it's regional, it's going to save on travel. Well, if you're going to keep the same schedule you have, who gives a crap what division you're in?
Mm-hmm.
We're all still traveling. So if you're going to do the realignment, you got to redo the schedule. Where division games are more important. You play your division more often. Not being a geography major, but I do look at maps a lot for sports. East Coast, New York, Boston, and Philadelphia in the same division. What is that? 100 miles between the four towns. Colorado's kind of, and Seattle, like the redheaded stepchildren of the whole group. There's no one really near them, so you're still kind of traveling if you're in their group. Atlanta's kind of that left out one because you got Atlanta, And the two Florida teams, wow, you need 5 in the division, 4 in the division, because they want to expand 2 more teams, so that's 32. So do you have 4-team divisions, 4-team divisions in each one, like the NFL does? Do you have 3 of 4 or 5-team divisions? What do you do? I might go off the 3 in each side, 3 in the east, 3 in the west. Plant the different maps, see how it goes. 4 and 4. Now, when you make up your own model, figure in the 2 expansion teams. Kind of look at the list they have. Don't make up a ton. Hey, I'm going to put one in Billings, Montana. Use your head. Look at who baseball's saying the sites are for it. Charlotte, Nashville, Portland, Vancouver, stuff like that. So use the given sites they're using. Don't just make up a city. Don't be afraid to move teams too that are getting shitty attendance.
Yeah,
Remember,
think
the A's are moving to Vegas, so remember that. I got no problems. I'm doing mine. I'm moving those 2 Florida teams. They can't draw. So I got 2 expansion and 2 teams getting relocated. So use that to your advantage. Don't relocate the Phillies because you can't stand them. Use common business sense.
Yeah, years ago, there was a cost savings. It was expensive to do all this cross country traveling, and I'm talking back decades ago. And so they kept them playing regionally and in your division to save, because baseball wasn't doing good as a business. Now the players are staying in 5-star hotels. They're flying on their airplanes. They're eating the best of the meals. Money's not really an issue because the whole league's doing well.
Right.
They're doing well, so they don't care if the player has got to sit on a flight for 6 hours. They've got the money to write the check. That's no big deal. And so that's why we're seeing that. Now, if Major League Baseball has issues financially down the road and they want to cut somewhere, that's probably the first place to do it, is all of this back and forth. But now they're calling up guys. They're sending guys down 2 days apart.
The relocating or the redoing the divisions, they're finding out the travel, the wear and tear on their body. Yes, you're staying in 5-star hotels. You're flying, but still, you're still doing a lot of travel from place to place to place. You get your day off for rest, but it's like back in the day, the train rides back and forth, hard. But you take the Seattles and the Denvers of the world, and even Atlanta, it's hard to really. I mean, that was the excuse for the Cubs for all those years. It was the day games. It was the travel that was killing them.
Yeah.
So do you go regional? Okay. So in my opinion, if you want to make regional work, your expansion teams have to be on the West Coast.
Okay.
You have to do that. There's enough on the East. You got everybody closer together. Let's make some of these trips easier on the West Coast. My thoughts were Portland and Salt Lake City. And then move the 2 Florida teams up, maybe Nashville and San Antonio or something, or New Orleans and San Antonio, something for it. So if we're going to do this regional, we got clusters of teams.
Or Charlotte.
Well, there's enough over on the East Coast already. You got Baltimore and Washington next to each other. You got the 2 Europe teams. You got Philly and the Boston. So you got 6-8 teams right there.
Nashville would be good. Now, a good point, Andy, you bring up the 2 Florida teams. The Rays, along with Major League Baseball and their ownership, did agree to do a new dome on the stadium. So they are staying there in the foreseeable future at the Rays Tropicana Field at the Trop. They're not going to demolish. They're not going to build new. They're going to put a new dome back on that stadium, and that'll take a couple of years. So they may not be going anywhere either, and they just have new ownership. New team bought a new investment group, bought the Rays. But yeah, you see any shows, any photos, no one's at those Rays games. Marlins, same thing. Marlins a really nice stadium there in little Havana, and it just doesn't work.
And this would be your time to change. Do you put a team in Vancouver? Do you put one in Monterrey, Mexico? If you want to expand, now would be the time.
Vancouver, yes, another good option. This last week, the news came out with the Pollad family, essentially pulling back, and they've got, I guess, 2 partnerships coming in
Yep.
to the ownership group. Pohlads are not selling. They may have sold a portion of their interest to new groups. Maybe that's what was said, but there was a lot of confusion, a lot of angst and whatnot as far as the fans when the Pohlad said the team is no longer up for sale. So the first thing to remember there is they made an announcement back last October to say, we're going to explore the possibility of selling the Twins. And that's all that they said. We're just going to explore. They never said we're going to sell. So now they backtracked from exploring, not really backtracking, but just saying we have our answer. We have our answer now. We've got two
Yep.
limited partnerships in.
Did you hear the percentages?
No, and I don't think it's out yet. I would like to.
Did they sell 20%, 10 to each guy? Did each guy get 20%? I don't know. I think the Pohlads are still the majority, though. All right.
They're still the majority, and they don't mind that, they said, but they're lesser of a majority, but they're still the majority. So if the new ownerships that are coming in, these partnerships are not majority, it means that they have to be minority. So they own a percentage. This is big time baseball now. So it's still millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars involved here at stake, but there's still a minority interest. So that's the ownership group. They never, I don't believe, ever said they were going to sell. They said they were going to explore the sale of the team. They did that. They're happy with the result, and it's done. And in my book, it's been put to bed. It's put to rest. Now, there are a lot of fans, a lot of backlash about the fans that don't like the Pohlads to begin with, really hate them now because they backtracked on their words. So it's a technical thing. It's a technicality, I guess. But as far as looking at it from a legal background standpoint, they didn't renege really on anything. They just got the people in place that they wanted. Now, the question that comes into place, and we've talked about this before, Andy, is Commissioner Manfred at one point did say at the All-Star break, a transaction is going to take place. A new owner is in line. You'll see the transaction soon. So that left everyone thinking, wow, this is going to happen. The team is going to be sold. So the question now, and I think we have to wait till the answers come out, is did he say something that was not true, or did he mean this limited partnership minority buy-in was the transaction?
He's right either way.
He's right either way, and maybe that's why he said it. Maybe they knew the answer, but there are still folks out there thinking that the fire sale that the Twins management did frightened off any potential owners. There's people thinking that the new owners came in and they wanted the fire sale. None of that's come out. We don't know the answers to any of that yet. And I think once that comes out, that may be worthy of a bonus episode or something just to explain it, because there really hasn't been anything out there yet that has any meat to it, right?
And the way the no name rule came out, he said there's minority owners. Now, when the Pohlads bought it from the Griffiths back in the day, in the 80s, who were the Pohlads? Who were the local businessman? So it's not a big name celebrity or big name person that came in and bought part of the team, or they would have been running their name to get the limelight. So it's an investment group. It's a business group that bought it.
And maybe that'll come out. Maybe that'll come out later. I don't even know, but I think it has to. We still should. It'd be nice to know for the fan base who is the owners. They're minority, but that's not like writing a $20,000 check. That's still $1 million. There's millions of dollars involved to make this transaction take place.
Now the Pohlads also said they weren't going to sell to someone who was going to move the team.
They also said yes, they were not going to do that. So. A part of me thinks that there were entertaining offers, and then folks did want to move the team, and any offers out there, they said, no, we're not doing that. So the only thing that we know before anything official comes out is the ownership's team, the ownership makeup is now set. It's done. There should be nothing more in the news. We can now focus on the team. The Pohlads are not moving. The Twins are staying here, and the Pohlads as a family are still the majority owner of the team. So like it or not, love it or not, whatever, we have those answers. We had questions out there since last October. I believe now everything has been answered. Now, I'd like to
Right.
still do a bonus episode down the road once these percentages come out, who the group is, what are they planning? Is there decision makers on a baseball level that have, the poll as maybe pulling out some of the decision making? I don't know, but I'd like to do an episode down the road when that comes out. Right now, we can't make any decisions. We can't say anything because we don't know anything. All we know is that they're not moving the team. Pollers are still in control. 2 minority groups are in. So now we can focus on the team, on the product, on the roster, on the field, everything else, because everything now, in my mind, is put to bed. There's nothing to argue. You can complain. Any fan can complain if they want. But I think all those unanswered questions are now resolved. Is that fair?
Yep, I think so, because I think they want to get something done too, because we got so much here locally with the whole Timberwolf sale and Alex Rodriguez and his partners.
Oh, Mark
We're
Lowry.
selling. Well, I guess we're not selling. We're selling. I think the poll ads want to do something. They couldn't say not at all. They had to sell part of it just to save face.
Yeah, and maybe that's what Manfred meant by the transaction. It made it sound like a new owner was coming in to do everything, and that was a transaction. Maybe that's what he meant, but that's where all this confusion is coming in. And as Twins fans in Minnesota, we just got done with the whole Timberwolves thing. Like you said, a confusion on very simple transactions. I didn't receive the document on time. I didn't make the payment.
Right.
On time. Yes, I did. Therefore, the team's no longer for sale. How can you screw that up? How can a technicality like that even happen on a $1 billion transaction for the Wolves? But it did. So it's goofy stuff.
Accident time, whatever.
There's zero way those things can happen in my mind. So something did happen there with the Wolves, I believe, that was under the table. But at least we're done now with the Twins. The ownership now is set. We might see if there's an influx of spending coming in, bigger payroll, different things at the field. I don't know. I can't speculate on what all that's going to happen. Maybe nothing changes, but those questions should now be answered. Now, we have a trivia question, Andy.
Yes, okay. I think I'm ready for this. Go ahead.
The trivia question is, on this day in 2021, a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers hit his 40th home run, which on August 18th was the fastest of any player in the Dodger history to do so, the fastest to hit 40 home runs here in August. Who was that player?
Okay, I've narrowed down my 3 down to 2.
Okay.
I want to say Mookie Betts, but I know you have a love affair with Ohtani, so I'm going to go Ohtani.
Wow. I do not, by the way.
Yes, you do.
Look at this answer. It was Ohtani. Now, there's 2 parts to this, Andy. So this was a day where he pitched 8 innings in Detroit to get the win. He hit his 40th home run of the season on August 18th, which is the first time that early for any member of Dodger history to do that. So the answer officially is Ohtani. Fair enough. That was a slam dunk, I believe. Now here's my question.
Okay.
You're gonna love this. I'm gonna find it here. Here's the stats as of today, Major League Baseball home runs.
Yep.
Remember, the record for the Dodgers was 40, and that blew people's minds. Cal Raleigh's at 47. Ohtani's at 43, still with the Dodgers, which means he broke his own record when he hit his 3 home runs ago. And look at Schwarber up there, Aaron Judge, and Suarez. So a lot of homers being hit, but the Cal Raleigh one really makes this trivia question jump out.
I'm going to defend the catcher position and the DH thing and rip on the DH.
Yes.
They're DHs. You're sitting around all game. You got nothing else to do.
Yes.
Catcher gets beat up like there's no, like the little brother in a Thanksgiving football game, okay? He's getting his body beat, this and that, and he's still got 47 home runs, okay? And, who's got hit behind him? Oh, he's got 38. So there's 85 home runs right there, those 2 guys.
Oh, my God. See, that is amazing, the catcher.
This is where – and Ohtani, there's so many great numbers last year. Look at the one stat they're not saying. Oh, he's got 43 home runs this year. He's only got 8 stolen bases. What happened was 50-50 last year.
Yes.
He's got only 8 now.
Oh, great point.
Is there a hamstring issue? Is there a leg issue? What's the deal with that? Why is he not running so much? Oh, you know why? Because he's got to pitch. He doesn't sit there as DH and do nothing like last year.
So it's all these other intangible things. When they sign a guy like that who can pitch, he probably was shut down to say, look, you're not going to be stealing bases when you're on the mound every 5 days. We cannot risk you as an asset for the
Right.
team for the number of dollars we're paying you. Steal if it's there. If it's a pass ball, wild pitch, move on. Maybe steal once in a while, but you're not going to see 40 stolen bases this year.
Oh,
And that comes down from team management.
Big Dumper
But
has
Cal
2 more
Raleigh,
doubles in him too.
oh,
Big
that
Dumper's
goes
got
to
2
show
more
the
doubles
big
in him
the
with
number,
20 less hits.
the big season that Cal's had. People said at the beginning of the year, oh, this is a month or two. Oh, it's the first half of the season. Wait till the summer months and he'll cool off. He's got 47 home runs. We're still in August, ladies and gentlemen.
He's
So anyway,
the
that's
catcher who gets beat up.
oh my God, I can't even believe the bumps and bruises and the pain you're dealing with on a daily basis.
And like we said earlier, Seattle teams got to travel. They don't have a team just down the road to play. So the flights back and forth, the sitting on the airplane, getting beat up as a catcher. But like I said before, go back to last year, what I said. Pete Alonso should have signed with the Mariners because he could hit 50 home runs under the radar because no one's going to care.
You said that, yes.
Big Dumpers hit 47. Suarez has 43. 2 of the top 5 guys in Seattle, and you know what? All you hear about is Fat Schwarberg, Judge, and Ohtani. You hear about those 3 names who are second, third, and fourth. 1 and 5 are in Seattle, and you don't hear it all.
That should be the story. Those guys are hitting. Imagine if Alonso was there.
Right.
So
or
those guys,
any of the big free agents would have gone there under the radar.
it's about you mentioned that a lot, and the market plays a big deal on it because you're either on the East Coast, West Coast, or you're in the mid-market, or you're up there in Seattle where everything flies under the radar. And now you can focus on your game and whatnot. And the problem is the press doesn't push it, and that is sometimes to your favor. So
now here's the question with Big Dumper right there in Seattle, though. Are they going to say, you know what? And this all depends what the pitchers say. If he's a good catcher, he calls a good game, he's a great defensive catcher, you keep him there. But if not, do you next year buy him a first baseman's glove? Save on his body so he can keep hitting?
And what if he turns into a Joe Mauer?
I don't know their catching situations in the minors. But do you move him to first base? Do you go, can you tough it out 2 more years? And now he hurts a knee or blows a hand, whatever.
Did they have Harry Ford?
Yeah, but is he ready yet?
Okay. But
That's
you're right. They could, and that's what the Twins.
Do you pick up a free agent catcher to move him to first?
You sign Mauer back in the day for big bucks because he's hitting the ball tremendously, and say, hey, let's keep him here longer, move him to first. And he turns into be a singles hitter, and you're paying the big bucks. And now this could be just a flash in the pan for Cal. But
right. Is he Brady Anderson 2.0? I don't know.
It is unbelievable what he's doing there from a relative no name. I didn't heard of the guy's name before coming into the season.
Right.
So hats off to the Mariners.
The next thing I look at is for them. Do you go after some free agent catcher for a year? Do you get a minor league guy? Do you move him to first? You say, you know what? Catching's more important. We got the Pete Alonso. We got some other free agent for hitting. We need you for defense. Now, I didn't do my homework before this. It popped in my head, so I said it. That's the thing. That's where you got to have good GMs to take control of your team for stuff like that. Watch those little things.
Yeah, got a couple months or a couple weeks left. Basically, 6 weeks left of the Major League Baseball season, and then the playoffs. It's going to be a lot of talk here. NFL football. First 2 preseason games are done for the first 2 weekends. Basically, they'll have one more weekend and then a bye, and then the regular season kicks off. I'm sure plenty of people will be having their fantasy football drafts. WNBA is in full force with their season, and so that's kind of the things we're monitoring right now. Anything else for sports?
One thing about the W I saw today. The one thing about the WNBA I saw today, between now and the end of their season, Now, I know if we're playing fantasy WNBA, there's almost never been a game on Monday nights. They have a game almost every night between now and the end of the season, at least one game. So if you're a fan, you're going to find a game somewhere to watch. Sophie Cunningham has a knee injury. Hear more about that tomorrow, how she's doing.
Yes.
The Fever are getting kind of beat up. Caitlin's been out a lot this year. Paige Beckers is having back issues. Caitlin, I don't know if it finally just caught up to her. Paige, like I said, her season ends in March, and then May they're starting their pro career, so she didn't really have time to heal.
It's a lot to
Not
ask.
making excuses, just saying it is what it is. So kind of makes what Caitlin did last year playing a full season look that much better.
It's unreal. It's unreal what they've done.
Unbelievable.
That's it. We'll see you next week, everyone.
See ya.